In this question, we're being quizzed about the minimum or maximum of a quadratic. We know this is a quadratic because if we FOIL it out, we'll get x squared. So it's some variation of y equals x squared, and the minimum and maximum values of a quadratic are a fancy way to say the vertex. The x value of the vertex of a quadratic has a formula. It's negative b over 2a, and that's if you have it in an ABC form. So if you have it in an ABC format, that's what you're going to want to use. Here, we don't have it in an we don't have ax squared plus bx plus c. Instead, we have a factored form. So the x value of the vertex is also the average of the zeros if it's in a factored form. So here, well, first of all, what are zeros? They're x-intercepts. They're the place where a parabola hits the x-axis. And the x-intercept is the place where y is 0, right? So zeros are a reference to the idea of the x-intercept, which is the place where y is 0. So just imagine we're taking this thing, we're setting it equal to 0. That's usually the second step of factoring. But now we'd be able to use the zero product rule, which is the idea that if these two parentheses are multiplied together with an answer of 0, then that must mean that you can set each of them equal to 0, because the only way something would multiply out to 0 is if you're multiplying it by 0. So either of these green things technically could equal 0. So you set them both equal to 0 and you get 14 and you get negative 19. So the x vertex is the average of the zeros. Long story short, if we see something with the parentheses like this, we could just look at it quickly and say, oh, well, the zeros must be 14 and negative 19. And the average of the zeros is going to be 14 minus 19. Adding them together, 14 minus 19 all over 2, which is negative 5 over 2, which is negative 2.5. And that matches answer choice D. So just to reiterate what we did here, we saw that this thing is hitting at 14 and at negative 19. And we know that parabolas are symmetrical. So we took the average of the two x-intercepts, 14 and minus 19. We did 14 minus 19 over 2, and we found that the x value of the vertex is at the negative 5 over 2, which is answer choice D.